Ipswich Buses, your local bus company serving your football team. Buses run every 10 minutes. Avoid the traffic. Don't get stuck in the delay. Get Ipswich Buses today. A single from only £1.20, a return from only £2. Find out more information at www.ipswichbuses.co.uk. Ipswich Buses, proud to partner with Talk in Town. Hello again, my friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to your Friday night show. Now, sadly, the show doesn't have any cake to share with you. It's been quite a big thing this week, hasn't it? Cake Gate. But it does take you from the week to the weekend. And this weekend, Town are away. So you may have other plans away from the football, but actually, let's be honest, you probably haven't, because Kieran McKenna, he's not only at the wheel, he's turned us into a sexy, sleek sports car. The type of car you want to be out and about in, of course, following. 2 wins from 2, 6 points from 6, and now a fixture that probably wouldn't look out of place in the Premier League. In fact, it probably looks more at home in the Premier League than, I don't know, Burnley versus Brentford. It is, of course, the Owls, Sheffield Wednesday, and we must once again turn our attention north to an enemy that some say are still reeling from the shock. You know the one. Hopefully it won't need a last-minute goal today. For those that are new here, and there are some, so welcome in. I can see the chat is really busy, so keep that action happening in the live chat. It's there to be used. This is a show that takes the Kieran McKenna press interviews, the clips, the tidbits, and puts the unique, excellent FCA finalist spin on them. Are we timing our contributors tonight? Strictly 2 minutes, you two, per question, before we maybe have some general discussion. Before I do bring in the famous duo, I must first say, if you're watching this on YouTube, hit that like button. I set a target of 100 on Wednesday, and we smashed it. So tonight, let's aim higher. Let's go for 150. So get liking it. Second, if you're listening to this on our podcast platform, cooey, please leave us a 5-star review. Come on, you lovely people. Who better to have coming in your ears than me? And thirdly, if you're listening or watching this while on the way to Hillsborough, leave an owl emoji in the comments. If you follow these 3 things, the Super Blues do, I hear, more of a chance of winning. Maybe, possibly, well, no. Okay, doing those 3 things won't increase our chances of winning, but it does help me out. Right, on with the show. And as always, before I bring in the man they call the Cruncher, you can, of course, follow Cruncher's excellent Led by Example lead by becoming a YouTube member with 2 tiers of support available. And, or as in Cruncher's wonderful case, he has done both. And become a TT Fistan Ultra through our Ko-Fi link. So you can support the platform by 2 methods, YouTube membership or through Ko-Fi, if you get value from the platform. $4.99 a month, loads of shows, and shows as our transfer talk before we started as bonus content. Honestly, your support of me and the platform is simply phenomenal, and I would not be sat here right now or earlier or Wednesday or tomorrow or any day really without any of your support. I'm just a disabled guy struggling to get by, here to talk about my football team, and you guys and girls make it all possible. Right, let's bring the Cruncher in. Bring in the hard truth. Friday night.
Yes, I bet you, and I bet anyone in the chat, I'll give you 5 minutes to guess what I did between the transfer show and the start of this show. I bet no one can guess what I had to do.
Turn the boiler on.
No.
Okay, I'm out of the running. Cruncher, it's good to be with you. It's Friday night. The weekend's upon us. Fury versus White is on. That means Matt Phillips somewhere is shuddering at the thought of doing another show. Outside
I think that's maybe at the Principality in Cardiff.
Ooh, Matt, get the tickets. I'll see you there. Mike
I'd love
D.
to. That is on my bucket list to go to a big fight night.
There you go. Talking Town minibus. Lads, and of course women, but lads. Weekend away. Actually,
we'd have to get Scrappy Doo on. Scrappy Doo would have to be on the leash that night, wouldn't he?
He would.
Let me at him.
I should have said it in the intro, but Sarah Davis, I hope you are doing well this evening, because you've had some surgery. We're thinking of you. I hope you're doing okay. I like what Mike D said here, Rich, and it's Burns.
Big shout out to Wes's mum and dad, David and Melanie, who are in the Maldives as we speak for David's 60th birthday, Martin. And they will be visiting Talking Town Corner very soon.
Of course they will. It's the place to be, my boy. It's the place to be. Bill Bird, get the ham away from the dogs. Colin, do your pack up for tomorrow, says Rich. Says Colin.
Have you had the picture?
No.
He's making his rolls, isn't he?
Ham rolls. Right. Okay, right. Let's go ahead. Every good contributor needs a partner. And this week, we have had Mark Tuxford, George Nunn, Tom James, Lewis Robertson.
Tom James, by the way, anyone out there who's not watched it already, Talking Darts. Bloody-tastic.
Drink to that. It really is. He's a good guy. The quality and depth on the contributors is truly there. And as we say, it truly is a fan platform full of different opinions, but none even come close to the man who loves a Romanian red wine and a bath. Got a change to bring in the red wine. But Matthew Phillips, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. Just to clarify, I don't have baths myself. I'm a shower man. It's my son who has the baths. You know.
Yeah, and you're there on the side, just drinking the red wine. You're keeping an eye on him to ensure he does not drown. I know your game. I know it. What are you supping tonight? I told you, I'll do what I want. What are you supping tonight, Mr. Phillips?
I haven't got a drink this evening.
Lies. You've now got to sit through an hour of not drinking because you just literally lied to the viewership. You've lied to the community. He's lying.
I've got an off-brand beer. Yeah. Oh,
do they exist? Do they exist?
Yeah.
Well,
I'm not as good as away day beers, obviously, but yeah, needs
nobody.
Must, right?
Nobody ever is. But I'm going to break. Oh, look at that. He's got the memo.
Waterman Road and the subscription service will be launched very, very soon.
Is that the box to box?
Yes. Well, we hope. I don't know. I'm talking to Josh about what we can do as a TT community, but I'm also off brand tonight. I have got Lockdown from Colchester Brewery. He gave me a sample on Saturday to try, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to try it out tonight. See what it's like, but we're all off brand tonight, I'm afraid.
Can you guess, Matt, what I was doing in that 5-minute interval?
You were feeding the dogs.
It involved the wife.
Oh God, 5 minutes? Three times?
You know what I was doing? She's going wine tasting tomorrow for someone's birthday.
Oh, okay.
So I had to tan her back.
You had some what?
Tan her back. I got the mitt on.
He's missing the
side on your stuff.
Fuck me.
I've been wine tasting. It's very good fun in Italy. I was absolutely hammered by lunchtime.
I've done wine tasting at the foot of Mount Vesuvius.
Nice.
Mm.
Naples.
It was beautiful. Yeah, had my honeymoon in Naples.
Porterman Road tonight, Matt. Porterman Road.
Very good.
David's drinking a vodka.
I was hammered by lunchtime and done about €500 on orders. Had enough wine to see me over the year.
You're amazing.
Good trip.
You're absolutely amazing. Wax on, wax off, Cruncher. Backside more like, says Lee. Look at it.
Are you boys watching Cobra Kai on Netflix?
No.
What a show. If you like Karate Kid, it's a Karate Kid reboot. It's brilliant.
This is why he's too busy, Rich, you see. He claims he's busy with other things, but really he's just sat there watching Netflix. Like a
He said he
teenager.
couldn't come on tonight. He couldn't come on the transfer show because he's having his dinner. And then what does he have?
I
He has
didn't-
pizza.
Well, I didn't
I
ask him,
mean-
to be fair.
Come
Yeah.
on. Well, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're not.
Wasn't
We have Gusto now. You heard of Gusto?
You mean you
Yeah.
pay for a subscription service?
Well, I don't. Lizzie does. But yeah, that's what we have now. Yeah.
I tell you a good site, right? Tesco Recipe Finder. Literally, you put in the ingredients you've got and it gives you a recipe. It's amazing.
The
Well,
good thing about
Cruncher's-
Gusto is they've done all the prep for you, so you just bung it in the pan.
Part of cooking
Crunch-
is the preparation, man. That's the part of the good bit.
Crunch's kitchen was in full effect this afternoon, Matt. Cheese and potato pie. But Matt
saw
didn't
that.
like the top.
Yeah,
You didn't like the tomatoes on the top, did you?
Why the tomato? I didn't get that.
Yeah, I didn't get that either.
Well, just a
Not
little
on
bit of garnish, you know. Had some carrots. Went down a treat.
Owen Griffiths is down with the Cobra Kai. Yeah, I'm told with Gusto you get all the bits already prepped. I don't know because I'm watching Cobra Kai while Lizzie's cooking.
Brilliant. Tony B says, shout out to the guy in the ATS. He gave me a discount for being a town fan. Big up. Got a flat time with the Accrington game. Oh, well, there you go. I'm a bit worried about David, though, drinking this vodka because if Colin appears at any point tonight, which I don't think he will, but if he does, and he mentions Bobby Robson, David could be in trouble with the vodka, the straight vodka.
Colin's
you know.
going to Hillsborough, isn't he? He's going to Hillsborough?
He is. He is going to Hillsborough, yeah. Mike D, potato in a pie. Double carbs, cruncher, says Mike D. Stephen Prey, bloody gusto. That's sad. You never get enough.
Yeah, I don't eat a lot, do I? So it's more than
No.
enough for me.
4% body fat, people. Don't
It's
forget.
It's not quite that good.
Also the size of a 14-year-old boy. So
Yeah,
He's
I
not
am under
gonna
10
eat-
stone.
Well, so talking of sizes, and what size shirt did you get, Matt? Tell us about the yellow shirt that you purchased with your points. You got your points back.
Yeah, it was a right debacle. I put in one of the wrong digits on my credit card number, so it got
Not for me.
denied, cancelled, and that. And then it didn't give me my points back. So I had to email Planet Blue. They put them back on. Then I managed to buy it. So just to clarify, I got small S. S was not for Sabuto player Ian Houston. Nice shirt though, but a lot. It's dividing a bit like this pod. It's dividing opinion. Some people said I couldn't be seen dead in yellow, and other people going, yeah, classic.
do you own a denim jacket?
I used to back in my band days, but not anymore.
Okay, good.
No.
Because you
Me
could
then.
look like a minion.
No, I don't. Denim jacket's not my style anymore, I'm afraid. But
Good,
in the
'cause
90s,
If you wear blue, you could look like. I was thinking it the other day. I thought, I daren't say this joke. I daren't say this joke, and I didn't. But I've
I'm
got
not calling
grey
it
on this
yellow
shirt.
anyway. I'm calling it gold and blue.
Gold.
Although
Okay,
it does
I
say
like
yellow on the box, but I'm calling it gold and blue.
I like that. If my head at any point becomes closer to the camera, it's because I've got an issue where the cable to my computer and my tower, they're not talking to each other, but when they do, they argue, and the computer screen decides to go off. So I have to try and tap the wire just to let it know that I'm still here. So hence, if I suddenly come over here,
Yeah, I thought you was getting a bit close to the camera.
or if you hear a massive great bang, it's me kicking the shit out of the tower. Just
Okay.
do not worry. I can't see you. So if I do stand up, you might see what what trousers I'm wearing. Not good.
It was
Right.
While I was
On-
clearing out the pizza, it was a good show
Thank
with
you.
Izzy and from Brentford. Very good.
Thank you.
Enjoyed
That's
that.
why we got Rich on, not you. Because we
Yeah.
had a good show.
Yeah.
Mine's still a little bit salty that we're getting players on loan from Brentford.
Fucking hate it.
Well,
hate
is-
it.
well, it is what it
It
is.
is what it is.
right?
And some. Oh my screen's off again. Some little rag turns up and goes, "Should have got Cancelo." Oh, fuck off, mate. All right, it was a comment, not to you. But anyway, I can't see you, so I hope everything's going all right there. Because
We can see your screen now. You've
My Lord.
got daylight behind you.
don't worry about that, son. I can't see nothing. Don't worry about what you can see. It's what I can't see that's the issue, and I'm the one with the notes.
All right,
yeah,
Lewis. You see Lewis there's comment.
no,
For Olympus.
I can't see anything. Right, here we go. Let's get on with the show. So we have got some points, 2 minutes each. We'll start with you, Mr. Phillips. Walton, buzz and excitement. Yeah, this is what Christian Toldo said today, or yesterday, whenever it was. He came in at a difficult time in the season, and we've picked up in terms of results. This is on McKenna, which has been really pleasing. That brings positivity and breeds confidence within the team, so there's a really good buzz and plenty of excitement about the place at the moment. We know we have to be focused on the job and be ready for the next challenge, which is Saturday's game at Wednesday. When you look at where the two teams are in the league, there's obviously a lot at stake for both, but we're on a good run at the moment, and we will have a lot of fans cheering us on up there. So, Matt, You yourself on Tuesday, the Fans React show, you said the players were suddenly within reach. A win tomorrow, and they're a little bit closer. You almost appeared excited and buzzed for a
Let
season.
me clarify. I was excited and I was buzzing. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you want to tell your face that a bit more often. And a season that appeared flat and almost dead is now alive. Is it now exciting? And as a fan, and how do you feel hearing Christian Morton speak about the buzz and the excitement? You've got 2 minutes. Go.
Got 2 minutes. Well, look, I was a little bit more excited than maybe I should have been on Tuesday, because I didn't realise MK Dons had scored a 95th minute equaliser. So I thought we were a little bit closer to them than I thought. Sky hadn't updated their app. But yeah, it's great. That's great to hear, because we did have question marks to me about McKenna coming in. He's not a lot older than some of the players. And, that might pose problems. But I think the fact that where he's come from, Man United, managers that he's worked with at Spurs and United, Pochettino through to Mourinho.
Well, we've just had the Brentford fan, Matt, say McKenna highly sort of almost as if it was a bargaining chip or a selling point that we've got. Kieran McKenna.
Yeah. Which I didn't really see that. I thought maybe, the players that we had, a lot came for Cook, and that was the respect factor they had there. But it's brilliant to hear. It's absolutely brilliant. It's all about momentum, isn't it? I think it'll be a tough game tomorrow, but yeah, you can't deny it. I mean, look, the luck is our way. What I thought hit the post on Tuesday night, Rich, was actually Bolton's heel on the goal line.
He didn't quite mean it. He didn't quite mean it, though, did he, Rich?
Well, if he meant that, he wouldn't be playing in the... Well, they did say he was a top 6 championship goalie. Obviously, he's a top 6 Premier League goalie if he can do that.
He's obviously a miracle worker.
From Colombia, the scorpion kick.
But on the excitement, obviously, we had the American takeover, which we broke literally minutes after it happened. We had, we got that excitement, and then the stadium changes, Matt. All the euphoria. Then the season almost died. Let's be honest, it died.
Yes, and we are still suffering a bit. Yeah.
But are you surprised at how quickly McKenna, in his first managerial role, is come in and giving it the shock treatment, and really, as sort of midweek, revitalised us? Yeah.
I mean, it's just one of life's mysteries. I still can't understand it, why someone so decorated as Cook in these divisions and had success with, multiple clubs, couldn't cherry-pick the players he wanted, as we understand, couldn't get this team moving, yet someone who comes in without any managerial experience, yet has an abundance of, coaching qualifications and experience working with decorated coaches, global names, has got us moving. Absolutely. It's just one of life's mysteries, isn't it? I don't know why. Is it timing? I don't know why. New way of thinking, mindset.
Many will say, Matt, it's to do with the assistant manager, the coaching setup. Obviously, he was working with the first time for Rich, in all fairness, as a coaching team. I don't think Gary, Francis and Paul have often worked together as a team, have they?
No. Well, Gary Roberts was still registered as a player at Accrington and Stanley without a coaching badge when he was appointed. Yeah. Look, I'll stand by. I said at the time, the 2-week period we had between the Wycombe game, and I think it was the Gillingham game where we got the Lincoln games cancelled with COVID. That was key for me. He's had him on the grass. He wouldn't have had that time, Matt. No. At any other stage of the season, we'd have been playing Saturday, Tuesday. He'd have got the odd training session here. He's had him for a prolonged period of time. He's drilled them well. And look, we're reaping the benefits on the pitch. But I did say to Colin this morning, we just do need to just ease the foot off a little bit. It's 5 games. It's not 50 games.
No,
we've won 4. Fantastic. If we go in the blocks, we've got 18 games left. If we could go in 5-game blocks, winning 4 games in 3 of them, 12 wins, we'll probably be in the playoffs. But football doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. We can all say, I see in the comments there, February, very kind fixtures.
On paper, yes. On paper,
yes. This league's not like that. There's some, like Mike Brown said before, there's some crazy results. We just got to, it's boring, I know. We just got to take each game as it comes.
Absolutely. Home dressing room, hashtag ITFC says EI. Oh, that's me. EIO. Up the Football League we go.
I think Roy makes a great point there. Cook's coaches were crap. I mean, he's replaced Liam Richardson with Jeffers, albeit had a good CV at Everton under 23s. And like you say, Gary Roberts, who didn't have a coaching badge. Maybe he suffered a little bit trying to get more Scousers around him a little bit, people he trusted, but maybe didn't have the experience.
Hey?
I don't know.
Good old Harry Enfield. What a sketch that is. Yeah. Right. Ricardo, sticking with Walton. I'm going to ask you, are you surprised at how good he has been with his distribution and ball playing? Because he started many moves out from the back. Do you think he had that in his locker when we signed him? Because Walton actually said this about it himself. I've got a bigger responsibility in possession and starting the team off from the back. We're setting up to play out, bring teams onto us, and then play through them. This is a big part of what he wants to bring to the team, as McKenna. So I would say that the responsibility for me in possession is a lot bigger than what has been asked of me by previous managers at previous clubs. But it's going to help me improve and develop as a goalkeeper, he said goalie, which is the important thing. Are you surprised? Because obviously under Cook, and Cook was, I felt we were going to get this playing out from the back style. We never did. Walton's distribution left a lot to be desired.
Yeah.
So when we did, what do you?
What was that game we were at? Was it the Oldham game or the
Oldham?
Barrow game? He was barking at him, weren't he? He was
No, Barrow.
Yeah, Barrow.
Yeah.
And I did say when he signed, Halaki's probably distribution is probably better than Walton, but he has improved. Listen, but they know nowadays, Martin, goalkeepers, it's not just a case of you're in the nets to keep the ball out.
He does say that.
You have to do much more than that. You know, you have to be footballers. Look at Edison. I know Edison at Man City, he's on a different level than Christian Walton. Some of the balls that he can play, he can ping a 70-yard pass. And it's not a long ball. It's a pass.
Yeah.
You know, so...
Are you surprised that Walton had, because that's Manchester City in the Premier League, in all due respect, but are you surprised? You mentioned Halaki had better distribution. Has he surprised you then in the recent weeks of how good he actually has been? And is that a testament to Rennie Gilmartin? We mentioned the coaches a second ago not being the best.
I was going to say that. Definitely. It's obviously the coaching. But I always find nowadays with goalkeepers, there is a mistake somewhere around the corner with these keepers. You'll watch the Football League highlights of a Saturday night, and you'll probably see, Matt, 2 or 3 instances where goalkeepers, even when Swindon were playing Man City, for instance, Swindon Town, they're playing Man City. They still wanted to play that football out from the back. And the second goal, it cost them. The goalkeeper, bad pass into the centre half. So I think sometimes you just have to suck it up. If your goalkeeper makes an error with a pass, that's the way we're going to play. The manager will probably say, listen, don't worry about it. It's down to me. If there's a mistake, I'll take the can, because that's the way he wants us to play, you know? So
it's a question for you. Whenever Walton has the ball, and I've noticed this in the last couple of games, we've now got two of the 3 centre halves on the edge of the 6-yard box. Why? Because the ball never goes to them, does it? So are they trying to bring the opposition strikers to the penalty area?
Correct. It's not designed to go to the 2 centre halves. It's designed to go to the man in the middle. And then you form a triangle and you play out and you beat the press. It's simple as that. If the opposing team take away the middleman, you play it to your centre half, and then you draw them out that way. But it's more
not a case, Martin, now where you take a goal kick and everyone goes and stands in the centre circle. The goalkeeper launches it and then you just fight for it. Football, it's totally changed at not just Premier League level, it's every single level. You know, kids football now, they all want to do it because they see on a Saturday or on a Tuesday when they're watching, this is the way the game's played nowadays. It's not everybody, because not everybody, Matt, because we see Accrington last Saturday. You know, they're a bit more direct, but they play to their strength with what they've got. So it's just how it is. And I like how we're playing. I like the football we're playing, and I think Walton's been excellent.
Yeah, I mean, Lambert played that style as well, didn't he? With two centre halves on the edge of the 6-yard box like that.
Do you feel comments like what Jason Clayton's made in the chat, and it's a very good comment and a very well made comment. It's a lot of pitches that we play on aren't good enough for this sort of football.
We're not in the 80s now, Jason. We're not in the 80s now where it was muddy.
Did you see Tranmere's pitch last year or the year before?
Yeah, that's a very rare occurrence, Martin, when you get pitch like that nowadays.
Yeah, it's the same for everybody, isn't it? Yeah.
All right. So you feel, Jason, and myself to an extent, a little bit wrong there in the sense of even when you go away to teams such as, I don't know, not going there now again.
We'll go to Milton Keynes in a few weeks' time. Their surface isn't great there. I've seen that on the telly. But we'll probably you might have to adapt a little bit, but I don't think we're going to be launching the ball 70 yards up to the lone striker like we used to.
We weren't that great at the Barrow game when we were that close to the touchline, weren't we? Even we both sat down and went, this doesn't look very good. Nearest the dugouts, anyway. Mm.
No, absolutely right. Matt, tomorrow, Wednesday, obviously away, big game. As I said in the intro, wouldn't be a fixture that doesn't look out of place in the Premier League.
No.
Keeping on Walt's distribution, the final sort of point. Do you expect us to play short tomorrow? Or do you expect us actually to come out and be a little bit more direct from things such as goal kicks because we're away from home and it is a big fixture?
They play 3-5-2, don't they? So we're probably going to match up with them, I would have thought. I don't know. I feel like we're going to be like, you'll see my 11 in a little while, but I mean, I've gone for more of an attacking lineup because I feel like it's, as you said, Martin, it's not a game we want to go to and go, oh, thank God we got a point. I feel like if we're going to keep the momentum going and break into the top 6, then we might as well just go for it. If we lose, we lose. Or we draw, we draw. But you might as well just go for the 3 points. So I think the idea would be to get the ball away early. And I'd love it if we could replicate the Gillingham, the Gillingham performance where we, it was 1-2 touches at the most. But under Cook, every time we got pressed, it went backwards. Now we're seeing when we're getting pressed, people thinking about creatively where they can pass the ball and get it forward. As I said, look, even in the short spell, it's been 5 games. I feel like the Cook era now seems really outdated. It's almost like we've gone from dial-up to broadband.
Great point. Yeah,
it feels like to me.
Really good point.
I never would have thought that, but fair play. It's good.
Absolutely. David's asking in the chat, are we doing the prediction league? David, we are doing the prediction league. I've not had time the last 2 previous shows, so I'll just get it in now while you raised the point. Here is this week's prediction league on the screen. Wednesday, Ipswich, Colchester, Sweden, Colchester, Swindon. Fuck's sake. Fuck, this beer's strong.
Louis Barry
and Fleetwood, Cambridge. Yes, Lou Barry.
Who signed for Colchester?
Big John.
Big John Akindi.
2.5-year contract, man.
Even when I'm on my deathbed, I'll maintain he would have been a better option than Ollie Hawkins.
I was confused because I was looking at Wikipedia thinking he's never played for Town. I didn't know they could sign players that never played for Town. In terms of the league table, we've got Mike Woods leading the way with Stephen Davis and Rob Smith hot on the trail. Well, they're all leading, to be fair. Ben Moore is 4th in the prediction league.
Well, he's got to get something right because his fantasy team are absolute garbage.
Lee Anderson's pushing it. Graham Brook there, Matt. Obviously, the first to know about Brett's injury midweek.
Me and Graham were chatting about this last night. Me and Graham were chatting Scrabble last night.
Were you really?
Yeah, we were, yeah.
But he was. He tweeted out he was the first one to know. Graham Brook, mid-table. I expected him to be higher there because he's with you, Rich. Which is shocking. 15 points.
I feel like I've been hard done by here. I feel like I should be in mid-table there.
Well, here is League 2. Obviously, it's getting very, very condensed, Getting very, very condensed. There's League 2, and there is League 3. Division 3. Matt Phillips. Look at that.
I can't believe you got all my points for telling a joke. I can't believe it.
Well,
no joking allowed.
Take control of that, and you could dish the points out yourself.
Well,
there you go. Anyway, massive shout out to One Rovers Vlogs in the chat.
Charlie, lovely guy, Charlie.
Great channel. If you don't watch it, go over and subscribe to him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great guy. Yeah.
Right, I'm going to give you both 30 seconds for this one, all right? Because it's inspirations. Walton had this to say in regards to inspirations. When I was a fan at Plymouth, the goalkeeper was Roman Larayu. What a player he was, by the way. And I absolutely loved him. I do remember him watching the ITV Championship show. Do you remember it being on ITV?
Yeah.
With the old Pucker Pie advert and the old "It's a beautiful day."
Yeah, good.
Yeah, absolutely banging times. Right. Here's my biggest inspiration as a youngster. But then at the top level, I always enjoyed watching Edwin van der Sar, and I was fortunate enough to see him live a few times. So, in 30 seconds each, I'll set the clock in a second. Who, as a kid, inspired you from the world of football? Matt, go first.
Well, from Ipswich, I used to love John Walk and Dalian Atkinson. I used to get a birthday card from John Walk, Junior Blues. I've said to John, I still wish I got that birthday card. I miss it on the mantelpiece. Dalian I loved just because he was out. I love flair players. And you'll remember his hat-trick reach against Middlesbrough, the 4-0. Absolutely brilliant. Tore apart Mowbray and Pallister.
5 seconds.
From the world of football, I love Italian football. I love Paolo Rossi at the 82 World Cup. I loved that Brazil 82 team that Italy beat 3-2. Zico I loved. Brilliant. I always used to lament the fact you couldn't watch European football when we were kids. Now, of course, you could. I subscribe to everything. You could see Italian football, Spanish football. You used to have to wait and see what the little results were in the Daily Mail, like little tiny letters. But
Michael Owen for Owen, Paul Cooper for Lee Brown, Paul Mariner and John Watt for Lee Bayliss, Cruncher. It can be from anywhere, town, anywhere else. What are you saying?
I started going 84, so we were on the sort of downward spiral. Two of my big heroes from a bit later on, Jason Dezelle. Obviously, he was making his way there. He remember the goal, Matt, when he scored when he was 16 against Coventry.
Coventry, 3-1. I was there.
Chris Kiwomya. Look, I used to love Chrissy K. I'd always remember his legs. They were shining. He would boil them up so much. And that team, Martin, the 91-92 team, for me, my favourite season as a Town fan. And I still say now, that is the season that it gets overlooked so much. You know, we've had the history. Obviously, Ramsey, Robson, the Burley eras, nothing since then. But that season, to me, you listen to the players. I talk to Adam Tanner quite regularly. John Lyle, everybody loved John Lyle. You know, what a manager he was and what a team that was, Matt. Fantastic.
Lewis has put Adam Proudlock.
Well, he would do because he got it midweek on the player connection quiz. I couldn't believe he got it. I really couldn't. Great stuff, Rich. My inspiration, Matt Holland from Ipswich Town. Very, very easy, very quick one. From the world of football, Nesta. I absolutely adored Nesta. He was, and Tony Adams. Them two were my idols. I wanted to be both of those as defenders. They're just rocks. And you don't get people in football like that anymore, particularly Tony Adams. What a hero. And I can still see clear as day at Everton, striding through and then putting what was probably one of the best goals in the Premier League that year. And then just standing there, hands wide.
Yeah.
I always remember Tony Adams, Matt, from the FA Cup game at Town when he had the headband because he crashed his car into the wall. Do you remember that week?
We won't talk about that. We won't.
Scored at the far post, Churchman's End. 4-2. FA Cup final.
Yeah, I think that was the Jack and Jenny pub in Witham. It's now a spa.
Is it? Yeah. Craig Forrest says Heidi. Oh, Craig Forrest. Keep your eyes peeled, Heidi. Yeah. Butcher. Class says Nook Miller. Gus Allenbeek says Eddie Spaghetti and Super Bobby Petter, who's now a DJ.
He is a DJ.
Roy Clark has said Eusebio, who shares a birthday with the Cruncher.
Does he?
Yes.
Lucky Eusebio. Giovanni Dos Santos says Lewis. Brilliant. Right. Sam Morsey, Matt. Tuesday travelled apart of the dressing room, hotel, etc. Many fans I saw on social media were a little bit sort of surprised, maybe taken aback that he was still a part of the group and that he travelled up. Were you surprised to see Sam Morsey a part of the group? Does it show a togetherness that's now at Town?
Yeah, and also he's got that extended role as a captain, hasn't he? So, you know, it's that mentality of we're all in it together. I think it was great that he was there, not playing. He could still be presumably he could still be a presence in the dressing room. It didn't surprise me the least, to be honest with you. I would imagine even under Cookie probably still would have been there, given that's, you know, as a captain role. And when you're in that kind of figurehead role, you want to see that, don't you? As probably players and fans. As fans, we go, brilliant. He's all invested, but he could be sat at home with his family. And as players, you know, he's there to, you know, we said, didn't we, at the Accrington game, how he was cajoling and being a real leading from example on the pitch. And, you know, you could still bring that to the party, just having to be on the touchline, that's all. When Beckham was the cheerleader at the 2010 World Cup?
Yes, of course, again with the 5th metatarsal gate. Is it something we've not seen, Rich, since the days of, you know, Chambers, Berra, Smith, McCarthy? Because Morsey on this platform sometimes has been criticised for a lack of leadership by some. Does this go a little bit some way to prove those people wrong? Do you feel this is him leading from the front by example, as Matt just said, all in it together, and as you've said previously, in the trenches? Is this him remaining in the trenches when the bullets are firing?
Yeah, look, I never agreed with. I think it was Ben Adams. He was saying not a captain. Never really agreed with that. You have to remember he came in with about 2 or 3 hours of the last transfer window to spare. So
Bobby was on air.
But to be fair to Ben, he's not here to defend himself. But yeah, he did say that. But he had some merits to the point. Does this go some way to maybe dispels, because he wasn't alone. Ben was speaking for a part of the fan base that do feel that and have thought that themselves out loud. Do things like this, as I've said.
He's a natural leader. I've said before, he's a natural leader. He was captain at Chesterfield. He was captain at Wigan. Yeah. He wasn't captain at Middlesbrough.
No,
but he's a natural leader, and I think he'll probably be there tomorrow. I'd be surprised if he wasn't there tomorrow, sitting on the bench. He's in the dressing room, still got a massive part to play, and it's obviously it'll be frustrating for him that he's not going to be out on that pitch. I think we could really do with him tomorrow. I think we missed him the other night. I don't know what you thought, Matt. I know we got the victory, but I still thought in that first half we missed that drive.
Yeah.
But look, he's got to suck it up. He's got another 3 games, and then he's got to get back in the team. If we win 3 games, does he come back in the team or does he sit on the bench? I
always thought, like, when we did sign him, and I was saying, people that I chatted to, what they said, what kind of personality he was, what character traits he had, what kind of style he'd bring. And I was like, I don't think I said on the show, I feel like it could be another Matt Holland for us, which is big shoes to fill. But I remember when he had to leave Wigan because of administration, he wrote an open letter to all the fans that was in the local newspaper. It's those little touches that show you what a class.
He's a good guy, Matt. He's a good guy. Look, I had a bit of would say messages backwards and forwards with him on the Monday night. He didn't agree with my tweet. I think personally, I like that. Shows a bit about him. He wasn't calling me out. He direct messaged me, and he didn't agree with what I said. And in the end, we agreed to disagree. But I said to him, football is all about opinions. And if I go out there tomorrow, I'll probably get there early. If I see him, look, I'd like to have a chat with him. Look, no hard feelings. I want him back on the pitch. I think we're going to miss him. But he's done the crime. He has to take the time.
Well, and the crime I feel is we draw a line under that now. It's happened, it's done, it's been dealt with. Whatever you feel about the situation.
Yeah, he's one game in now on that ban, isn't he? So it's no point crying over spilt milk. It's
absolutely.
It's been looked back numerous times.
If anyone thinks we've got multi-cameras at Portman Road, just watch iFollow.
Wow, there you go. Blue. Cook put a lot of pressure on Morsey. Do you agree with that, Matt? Built him up as a bit of a saviour.
So what Cook did?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, not particularly. I do feel like we did say it felt like there was a piece missing, and certainly Harper and Evans weren't the answer, were they? Which is why I think we probably got off to a bad start. You could argue that was Cook's fault, really, not having the right personnel in the right positions against what was pretty mediocre opposition the first 3 games. But there we go. Yeah. But he's not a robot, is he? It's probably taken him a little time to get used to. I mean, he was in the Championship at Middlesbrough. A few months before he was at Wigan. Now he's at Ipswich, full-time deal, playing in League One. You got acclimatised, but But that said, he was brilliant against Doncaster, wasn't he?
Absolutely. As Jason does rightly say, maybe you won't see him there tomorrow, Rich, and don't be surprised if you don't, because McKenna did say in the press conference today that he might not travel to every game because of some, fitness regime. He might want to, they want to do this with him on a Sunday, whatever it might be. So as Jason,
they can have him out on the pitch before the game. Are they allowed to do that, or after the game, Matt, or is he not allowed because he's suspended?
I think because he's suspended, he wouldn't be allowed to be on there. I think
there's a local park somewhere. Just get him over there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Talking of leadership, though, McKenna did have this to say on George Edmondson, Rich. Also, he's a positive and a lively character around the dressing room, popular with the players, but he's also a tough character and he wants to win. So we feel like he's got a lot of attributes that we want to develop in him from a leadership point of view. We also have some really good senior players, to be honest. Sonny Aluko played the other night, a fantastic professional, really good leader in the group, great on the training ground, good on the pitch, experience. One of a number of other examples. So Edmondson, is he future Town captain or elsewhere? Do you see it? And is it about time that Town had multiple people who could be a captain, characters, leaders, men on that pitch?
Yeah, I did say. Well, I was only going off the back of what people said about Morsey should be captain and Edmondson is captain. I didn't agree with that then. Look, he's what is he? 24 now, I think. Mm-hmm. He was at Oldham. He's obviously played in Scotland. He played games in Europe. And a lot of people, they don't have to be captains. Have changed now, Matt, because like back in the day, you had like your Roy Keanes, you Bellowen and Terry Butchers, and you don't have to. You don't get them characters nowadays, do you? If you watch the Spurs documentary, you watch Harry Kane there, and the team talks he does in the dressing room before the game are absolutely embarrassing. But he shows on the pitch. He leads by example when he's playing.
Yeah.
So, but we spoke before on this platform, Martin, about you just look at the 2000 team that won Wembley, and the amount of leaders they had in that team. Matt Holland was captain, but you had them all, didn't you? Magilton, Venus, Mowbray,
McGreal.
Yeah, McGreal. So it's up to other people now. It's like tomorrow away at Hillsborough. This is why I'm saying we're going to miss Morsey tomorrow, because you've got in that midfield, you've got Tom Carroll, and you've got Backinson, who haven't really played together, but I don't really see them as a leader. Backinson, he's just come to the club. He might be a bit sort of in himself, can't give anyone a bit of a bollocking, But then you got Macaulay Bonne. I think he's been captain this season. He seems like a leader to me, how he plays. So
Norwood.
Edmondson's a great player, and I think he probably will be captain. Hopefully it'll be at Ipswich Town. Hopefully it's not nowhere else, because I think that's a real key.
Clock's ticking, though, isn't it? Let's be honest. Clock is ticking. It's one of those. It's not a matter of if; it's a matter of when, in my opinion, Matt. That George Edmondson will be playing at a higher level. You hope it's with the blue and white. You hope it's with Town.
He had one of his better games the other night, though, Martin.
Well, that leads into what Mike D has just said here in the chat. Edmondson needs to concentrate on his football. Do you think the captain's armband is an unnecessary distraction at this point of his career, Matt? Do you think actually you can lead without a little bit of fabric around your shoulder?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I would imagine McKenna, being the sort of modern coach that he is, will be saying to everyone, you don't need the captain's armband to lead. Go out there and do it. And I think Rich is right. You look back at that 2000 team. Yeah, you just mentioned 5-6 players that used to be leaders, could all potentially be captains. I'm seeing it again here. You're looking at Morsey, you're looking at Edmondson. You could say Janoy Danassian. So, I mean, there's three. I mean, we've been struggling under Lambert. We used to think it was a really quiet team and there was no leadership there. And Macaulay would be a fourth. Absolutely. Norwood, 5. Yeah. Already you're seeing characters in there. Now, whether or not Edmondson will, a bid would come in for Edmondson if we didn't get to the Championship, we'd have to wait and see. But at least we're in the position now to be able to bat those away under Evans. We'd be listening to the deal, wouldn't we? But I mean, I doubt McKenna is the kind of person who would stand in the way of Edmondson if he wanted to progress his career. And I don't think we've got.
Captaincy's an interesting one, Matt, because you only have to look at Arsenal a couple of seasons ago and look how much the armband was passed around there.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Oh, you see it in England as well, don't you? With England teams, you have had different captains before.
It's more of a leadership council these days.
Yeah, exactly. The leadership council was a good thing. I mean, you only have to watch that. What's it? The coffee shop podcast, whatever it's called, Coffee Club.
Coffee Club.
You can see what kind of character he's on that. I think you have to be a bit of a character to be able to have the mic in that situation amongst players, certainly.
Matt Swords impressed with Dominic Thompson's badge pointing skills and his signing on photo.
Got it right first time.
Dr. Zach King, definitely captain potential. Emerson for me, maybe just not yet. Can cover. Aluko too.
As well, Aluko. Some now got 6.
Absolutely, yeah. Rob Smith. Some players thrive as a captain. Others, it affects their game. Liam says, my barber cut Selena's hair and told him he's starting tomorrow. There we go. We're getting into that realm. Talking of characters, Matt. Caden Jackson, right? Might not be the most gifted of forwards, but he has speed, which you can't teach, and he has scored something, I don't know, a fair few goals for Town, particularly under Lambert. I said on Tuesday that his character and his attitude is what you particularly want around the squad. Do you feel we need more Caden Jackson players with that type of mentality and attitude, particularly with a large squad? Because, you can get so many players that aren't playing that get disgruntled, get their heads down, start whispering in corners. McKenna said, really humble, hungry lad, because he hasn't really featured much at all. On meeting him, you could expect that he might be a bit disillusioned with the situation, but not at all. He made it clear to me, he just wants to contribute to the team wherever he can. He wants to be here and just wants to be part of a good Ipswich Town team and a good Ipswich squad. We need more Caden Jackson type.
Well, I think, I mean, exactly. I mean, you have to remember he comes from very humble beginnings. I mean, his career break was at Swindon Supermarine.
Judge Rinder.
I don't even know what division they're in.
I knew you were going to say that.
Judge Rinder.
I knew you were going to say that.
So, it'd be ridiculous for him to be walking around like he's Pogba or something. But what you said there made me think of some of the allegations that have been shouted out at some of the Man United players in that their heads have gone down. They haven't got the right attitude. For whatever reason, they're not liking the culture that Ranić has cultivated there since Solskjaer left. And we've had change as well. Same kind of change at the club. Yep. And you've seen Norwood come back into the frame and score goals. And you've seen Caden come back into the frame and contribute to the pass that Norwood gave to Burns to score on Tuesday night. I think they've got a good attitude. Now, whether you think they're good players or not is a different argument. But the fact that they can be trusted upon to start in that 11 and put a shift in, and like you say, Jackson has got the pace to burn.
You can't teach that. You can't teach it. You can't teach pace.
Exactly.
What I will say is, Rich, we've often said it on a microphone. Sorry, Matt, about players not wanting to be here. We won't say names. this is a player that clearly wants to be at Ipswich Town Football Club. Clearly has the right attitude, head down, work hard. Whenever he speaks on Twitter, it's always either an apology or we'll do better. It's always a positive in terms of the football club. As a fan, he might not be the best football player. He might not be the most gifted, but he wants to be here, unlike so many in the past.
Yeah. Look, all footballers, like Matt said about Man United, massively talented bunch of players. Wrong attitude there. It doesn't matter who comes in there as manager. That's ingrained there. They've got the wrong attitude. They're probably, a lot of them, they're on big money there. I'm not playing. You know, the whispers. Caden Jackson is a shining example, Martin, to, like Mike Brown says there in the chat, he's not got the best football brain. Yeah, we're not talking about that. We're talking about his attitude in training. It's been bang on since McKenna came into the club. Yeah. Caden knows as well that he's out of contract this season. So he might not be here next season. We don't know. But he's going about things the right way, because there's going to be probably clubs out there looking at thinking, Caden Jackson, he's available. And if you ring up Mark Ashton or you speak to Kieran McKenna, you're thinking, what's his attitude like? And they say that, you know, that's bang on, Martin, because it's all too easy. It is nowadays. Footballers, it's all too easy for them to sulk in it, you know, not put it in training. I'm not playing. Bring other players down around them who are probably not in the team as well, like you're saying, whispering. But we're all pulling in the same direction. And like Colin said before, the squad is going to be key. We've got a better squad than probably a lot of teams in this league. And we're going to need them all. And he also said about Joe Pigott, you know, they're all going to have to be
coming on to that very soon. Actually, that's the next. We
are going to get in the playoffs. It's not just going to be 11, 12, 13 players. It's going to be 18 players. It's going to be 20 players. You're going to have players who might come in. They might not play many games, but they might come in and they might. Jackson might score a vital goal. He might come on tomorrow. I don't think he'll start tomorrow.
Look at Tuesday. Look at Tuesday, Rich. He put the ball across for Norwood. You know, that is he played a vital part in getting us off the ground and lift off Tuesday. And
I thought he'd done all right the other night. I thought he'd done all right. He worked really hard. If you look at his running stats, you know, it was
agreed.
Really impressive. So look, Caden's going about things the right way, and all credit to him, I say. Hats off. Well done.
And you only have to look back, two seasons ago, and we gave him Player of the Year, Rich, didn't we?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I thought it was like a step back when we heard it was Norwood and Jackson the other night. It was a step back into the Lambert era, wasn't it?
It's Lambert in charge, yeah, absolutely.
That's what's funny about football fans, though, isn't it? Because there was a lot of people on social going, "Oh, I can't believe this! I just can't believe this lineup." And then 90 minutes later, you're going, "What a team!"
As AD rightly says, hit the like button. Only 43.
Yes,
come on, there's 160 on YouTube watching alone. Come on, you've been with us since the start because it's not changed.
100 likes. Come on.
150 likes. That's the target. Help us out.
150 likes.
The thing is, though, being in a contract year, very quickly before we move on to Joe Pigott, Matt, you would have been forgiven for trying to get that move away because it's your contract year. It's your year to show the footballing world what you've still got to earn a move elsewhere, either earning the same money, earning more money, or just in Tristan Nydam's case, getting a club. You could have been forgiven for being in the manager's ear, both Cook and McKenna, and saying, "Look, I want away.
Well, you know, let's not be naive about this. Probably an element of why he's putting in those hard yards and showing what he can do is A, to prove to McKenna and Ashton what he's made of, and B, there's probably clubs watching him. Yeah, so let's not be naive about the process. I mean, theoretically, he might not be here come Monday evening when the window shuts. So we'll wait and see. But fair play to all we can ask is to go out there, and as Colin always says, you know, if there's 11 guys out there wearing the shirt, let's support them. And,
I agree with Mike D in that comment there. I thought he had a better game than Norwood on Tuesday.
I agree. I do agree with that. But then I'm a Jackson fan, and others would say that I'm.
Norwood had that little piece of magic, didn't he? That the little
turn pass.
I don't think he meant that. I think he slipped over it personally. But we'll move it. We'll move it on. Joe Pigott, Rich, flipping that to Joe Pigott. McKenna said, as you've said earlier, to be honest, he's training well. I said to him, I think he can count himself unlucky. Another manager says that about Joe Pigott in terms of the minutes he's played. We're blessed in that department at the moment with a number of good strikers, all with different qualities. Obviously, Macaulay's been having, has been having, and is having a really good season and contributes a lot to the team. James coming to the team in the recent run has been scoring goals, and Joe has had to be a little bit patient. We know what qualities he can bring. He's got different qualities to the other forwards. He's proven that at this level, he can score goals. He can also bring other things to the team in terms of his hold-up play, his link play, his back-to-goal play is at a really good level. It's difficult to manage a lot of options, but with where we are in the season, with the time left in the season, we're happy to carry those numbers and have a lot of options. We feel like over the course of the run of games, people can have a part to play and contribute at different times. And Joe's definitely one who can contribute between now and the end of the season. You've kind of already answered it, but no question, really. Just I want your instant reaction to hearing those thoughts on Joe Pigott.
I was a big fan when he signed. I think I did say, Matt, he get 24 goals this season. I didn't know that he would spend the majority of it on the bench. And I do feel sorry.
Rakeem Harper, player of the year.
Big opinions on here. Put your neck on the line. I did think he'd play a lot more football than what he has, and I think he did as well. You know, he's come from AFC Wimbledon, where he's used to be playing every week. He's the main man, and he's now what is he now? Fourth choice, Martin, is he? You know,
well, this is it. Where is he? You know.
But then it wouldn't surprise me tomorrow if at 2:00 when that lineup comes out that he's in the starting lineup. You just don't know. I think there'll be a few changes.
Do you think he suffers from being a jack of all trades, Rich, in the sense of like McKenna's listing off there? He can do this, he can do that, he can do this. Is it a jack of all trades, 6 out of 10 or all of them? But then Norwood, you know, is a better hold-up man.
I think he's a penalty box player, Pigott. If you look at all his goals that he scored last season, they're all within the box. But when he gets his chance, which it's probably he's going to get a chance if you're listening to McKenna, what he's saying, he really does need to grab it, doesn't he? Because he might not get many chances. When he comes in, if he gets a chance, you got to stick that ball away, Joe. Because we're all. I would love to see him get some game time and get some goals. He's a popular figure. He was on that coffee club, Matt. He was on there, and he's a jovial figure. You've got to keep yourself going. You know, you're training every week, and he's just not getting any time off the bench.
I don't know how he's doing it, Matt. I don't know how he's keeping himself motivated to either.
Difficult.
Stay
Yeah,
fit,
well, I mean, look, you're around the lads. You're training every day. You're part of a squad. I would imagine if he was like just training on his own or with the 23s, you know, he'd probably his chin would be on the floor. I'd imagine. But did you say in that quote there that McKenna said Bond was having a good season?
Yes, he did. Yes.
Do you? I mean, look, is he having a good season? He had a very good start to the season, but he's got 2 goals since October, and we're now almost at the end of January. He's gone off the ball big time, hasn't he? Which is a shame. Why it's a shame that I'm not dissing McCauley here. Brilliant amount of goals over August and September, but he certainly drops off massively since.
His work rate is good, Matt, but I've said before,
isn't he?
Because they sing he's one of our own. He gets a bit of a. I'm not saying a free pass, but he gets more leeway than, say, a Joe Pigott had. If Joe Pigott had played 16 games and he'd scored 1 goal, we'd all be saying, I don't think he should be in the team. Whereas Bond,
exactly. Yeah, that's the third of the season right now. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, McCauley on fire, start of the season. Absolutely brilliant. He really has gone off the ball a little bit. You know, there's been changes at the club. We know that. Maybe that's affected him. I don't know. You know, maybe off-field things have affected him. Maybe he's, he was thinking he had to go back to QPR. Maybe that affected him. You don't know, do you? It's all mindset. But I hope he can get back to scoring goals. But yeah, I think Rich is absolutely right. I think if that was Bond there and he wasn't from Chantry or whatever, then I think they wouldn't be so patient, I don't think.
All right, we've got one more press clip. Then we've got 1 to 11s and looks at Wednesday. But very first, hello, you lovely lot. I am here very quickly to discuss Woodpecker Mortgages and Protection, run by Ipswich Town fan Graham. So you know you're in good hands if you go with Woodpecker Mortgages and Protection. I want to discuss the income protection service they do with you. You all know me and you all know my story. Literally, one day I went out into that big wide world, a scary world, and I had an injury which left me disabled and unable to work. Just like that, I lost my income. Just like that. That's a click there. Crazy. This may have been an answer to a prayer, because obviously when you can't work, you can't earn. And when you can't earn, your bills are still going to be there wanting to be paid, like children needing to be fed. This could have been an answer to my prayer and taken some stress away from me and let me focus on my mental and physical health. Income protection insurance, it's not for everybody, but it might be for you. So give Graham a call on 01636 337 447 or email graham@woodpeckermortgages.co.uk. And I must say, your home may be repossessed if you do not keep up repayments on your mortgage. You know it makes sense, you lovely people. You do know it makes sense, because otherwise you end up doing podcasts with these two Herberts. Get income protection. Talking of which, Scott Fraser, somewhat forgotten man, nearing a return.
Yeah.
Do you get the feeling, Matt, that McKenna may have a little bit of a plan in place, or be excited to work with the best number 10 in League One? Because he said this today or yesterday. He's had a little injury in that time. Obviously, we had 2 games called off due to COVID. I know all about Scott's qualities. Watched lots of him for Burton and for MK. So he's certainly a player who has quality and impact at this level, and is a player who can contribute for us when he gets the opportunity. Does that sound like a manager that's excited to work with somebody, do you think?
Well, I like the fact that he's, even though when he was coaching elsewhere, or he was at Man United or Spurs or whatever, he was keeping an eye on the lower leagues. But I mean, look, there's no smoke without fire. He keeps getting linked to Swansea.
Is that not lazy journalism? Take 1 + 1 = 4.
I don't know. I mean, look, there's the Russell Martin connection, and it's the MK Dons connection. I don't know. But I mean, I've not been particularly sold on Fraser. I have to say, he seems a bit slow to me. And I think he was a victim of Cook's square peg round hole syndrome a little bit. When he was over on the left of that 3 behind Bon, I was like, what did he actually bring? You'd forget he was on the pitch, But I mean, if we weren't playing him in the right positions, then, that's not his fault, is it? But I don't know. I feel like Selena and Chaplin are well ahead of him in the pecking order. And maybe, what did we pay for him? $750,000? Was it 750? Something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it?
Maybe we'll recoup it. I don't know.
Is he a number 10, Rich? Because that's Stephen Parry says. He's not a number 10. It drives Stephen mad.
Well,
he said himself he wasn't.
He said he's an 8. They've had a Charlton bid $400,000 for him, didn't they, today, Matt? That's been turned down.
Did they? 400?
Yeah, $400,000. I think Scott Fraser is a real good technical player. I'm a big fan of him. I am. I think when he was, you look at that goal he scored against Morecambe the first day of the season, how he linked up with Chaplin. I think them two link up quite well. I could see him playing with a Chaplin or a Selena in like the 2 10s behind the striker. But you can't play everybody. McKenna says he wants to carry a big squad, but like I did say earlier, we're going to need everybody. They're all going to get their turn somewhere along the line, and when he gets his chance, he has to come in, and he has to take it. He's not the quickest, Matt, but it's all up here. Teddy Sheringham wasn't the quickest.
Did work. Yeah, exactly.
You don't have to.
He was out the blue, though, wasn't he? He was out the blue as well, like Luca. He was out of the blue. What was it? Yeah. We saw Cook, didn't we? Like Bury St Edmunds, Bury Town, and he said, "Look out for a signing tomorrow, lads." And we were thinking it was someone else, and it was him, Fraser.
The thing is, I bring Fraser up because, as Ian rightly says, some great points in here by Ian. Fraser, top quality, one of our best technical players, should get a chance playing McKenna ball. You say 100%. About his technical ability, as does Ian. I genuinely think, listening to McKenna or reading McKenna as well, I think Scott Fraser's a player. He's got the sort of ambitions of can't wait to get my hands on him and use him in my system, and because he can play all over the pitch, and he's technically so good, Matt. So good. He'll shine. He'll shine in this system.
I feel like he needs an opportunity under McKenna. I said this about Selena, didn't I? He was underperforming under Cook. We needed to see him with an opportunity under McKenna, and Fraser's probably the same. But the clock is ticking on the transfer window. But you might be right. I think he has got the technical skills. He was his best number 10, and then we find out he's number 8. For me, like I said earlier, I like flair players, and he's probably not quite ticking the box there for me. And when he was over on the left, I didn't really see the impact he was bringing, like an Aluko or whatever.
He needs to run a games, though, Matt.
He needs to run a games. Yeah, I don't disagree. Yeah.
See what I think you're underestimating him there in terms of his creativity. I think whenever he's on the ball, he looks like something's going to happen. Okay. I really like him, and I think the fact Charlton, Rich, have bid 400,000, which, let's be honest here, ladies and gentlemen, in League One terms, that's a lot of money. Shows the ability and the potential that other League One teams see in Scott Fraser.
Yeah, I agree with Mike D there. I think he could play in the Championship for a team like Swansea. Look, he's obviously played with him when he was manager at MK, and they keep the ball for fun. Yeah, but I'd rather he played for Ipswich. I really would. And look, I know Aluko, everyone's saying Aluko's miles ahead of him.
Not for me.
But Aluko's age comes into consideration for me.
Yeah, he ain't got long left.
He's not got the longevity. He'll probably get another season. Look, I'd keep him for another season, definitely. But Scott Fraser, how old is he, Martin?
Oh, good question.
25?
I want to say 26. but let's have a look. Scott Fraser
Put in the
is
comments, people. Scott Fraser.
26, born on the March 30th, 1995.
Right, Richard.
I was spot on. 26. Boom. I love him. I think he's a great player. So
Fair play.
good. So technically sound. Doesn't
If he
need
was
pace.
fit
as you say.
tomorrow, Scott Fraser, I would be starting him ahead of Tom Carroll.
Agreed. Oh, without doubt. Without doubt.
You
I'd
know?
play him anywhere. But yeah, particularly in that position there, I do agree. I do agree. I didn't know. I've been busy all day about the Charlton bid. The fact that Charlton have put money on the table, Matt, and may come back,
But then
should
again, yeah, I get that. But that's quite small fry in the terms of
not in League One. It's not small fry.
Have you not seen the fees we were paying? If you want to buy Selena, it's going to cost you probably $2 million.
We're the exception to the rule, and Selena, in all due respect, is played at a higher level than Scott Fraser. Scott Fraser's yet to have
But
get
you're
in the
only
game,
paying
as they
people
say.
that are going to give you impact in the league that you're in, and we know he's made an impact from MK Dons previously. About 400 grand, get away. We paid double that.
So on that basis, what do you? And they've obviously turned it down. But let's say Charlton come back with a revised bid of 500,000, just for example.
Well, you want your money back, don't you? So if we pay 750.
So that's exactly what I was going to ask you. What do you lose by saying we're not selling until the summer?
Well, what do we lose? I mean, you get some money back, 750 grand. You're now player short. And we know that he can play a variety of different positions. He might not like it, but he can play a variety of different positions. If you then sell Fraser, what's the backup plan? Who comes in and replaces him in that squad? Because as Rich said, McKenna likes a big squad. I don't really see the logic of getting rid of him, especially towards the end of the season. But I think you'd need a backup plan to replace him.
He offers more. He offers more than an Aluko. I'm saying that going for longevity, not just this season.
Yeah.
He offers more than an Aluko and a Tom Carroll.
But
I see Blue's comments there, Martin, about it, that he basically doesn't fit into McKenna ball. He doesn't run as much as Jackson. I don't agree with that. I'm not just because he might not seem that he's working hard. You know, he's not just standing there with his finger up his backside.
Who's this? Aluko, you say?
Fraser.
No, Blue says about Fraser.
Well,
Doesn't
what
suit McKenna
Aluko
ball.
does is give you energy, doesn't it? And you've seen it when in that Sunderland game when they suddenly put him in the middle, and suddenly you were like, "Oh my God, didn't know Aluko could play here."
I just want to know, Matt, before we go any further, what is his first name?
Sonny.
Well, look, when I joined the FA, he was my first interview, and he told me his name was Shawnee. So I'm always going to call him Shawnee Aluko. This is going back to 2007.
Big shout out, Alex Griffin. He's on the way
Yes.
to Sheffield.
Whoop, whoop.
It's
Alex
tomorrow.
Griffin. Alex,
Alex's show. I do like Alex's matchday shows. I think they're great.
do you know if Alex Griffin shakes his trouser leg, about 1,000 subscribers fall out? Shake it in our direction, Alex. Here
Can I just ask Alex a question while he's in the chat? What did the wheel come up with today? Because he spins the wheel, doesn't he? What are you wearing tomorrow?
We should do that for you. You know, we should do that for you. We should do that for you.
Are you going there tomorrow? Are you there tomorrow?
I'm going.
It's
a massive away day. Come on. I'm not like you, just jumping on the MK bandwagon. Like everyone was telling them. Telling you on social media.
Yeah, I don't go away. Anyway, right. 1 to 11 time. Let's have a look at this. Who have you got starting, ladies and gentlemen? Get your 1 to 11s in the chat.
Massive shout out to the tickets we sold. 5,000 already. 1,000 tickets went in 7 minutes today.
That's unbelievable. That's
Unbelievable.
It is. You told me you were working and weren't going. You've changed your shift.
No. I did have football. It's been cancelled. I'd got tickets anyway. I made my mind up last Saturday when Colin was going. Oh, I'm going. I thought, yeah, I'm going to go. Sheffield Wednesday. I love going. I was talking to Colin earlier. Look, I love going there, but I always have a thought when I go there about what happened back in '89, and it just sends a shiver down my spine. It really does.
Changing the subject, because that is a sad memory of that of a famous stadium. But I've got some birds that need collecting 20 minutes away from Hillsborough. If you fancy a little detour for 20 quid.
I'm fucking delivering your cupboards. I've got some cupboards for you. Now you wanted me to pick up birds.
No, genuinely, I've got 4 recessive pieds that need collecting. Honestly, I'm hand on heart. I didn't know anyone was going. I asked Colin if Mark Rattle was driving him. Think I could ask Mark, but I didn't know you were going.
Surely they got room on them galloways underneath. You know where they pulled it down.
You can't have suitcases.
Where's the cupboards at the moment? Are they in your garage or something?
They're not
with
me.
I'll bring them over probably next week, mine.
Yeah.
We'll talk. I might come and get him tomorrow evening if you bring my budgies back. But we'll talk. Recessive pies. Alex needs 6 subscribers. Don't know what he needs them for. Oh, to get 21,000. Alex, if I send you 6, can you send me 6,000? I think that's a fair deal. That's the YouTube currency exchange rate. Right, 1 to 11s. Here we go. We've got Crunchers.
You're not putting us in the away kit.
No,
Apparently, we're all black tomorrow with white socks. We're going to wear white
lazy.
socks tomorrow.
Walton, Donastin, Wolfenden, Edmondson, back 3, Burns,
That's not
Backinson.
mine. That's not mine.
Is it not? All right, we'll go with Matt's first while I try and find yours. Matt, talk us through your 1 to 11. And for the purpose of those at home listening on audio platforms, tell them the formation and read it out in order, please, sir.
I've done like a 3-4-3, but can go to a 3-5-2. So I've got Walton in goal, Higuita with the scorpion kick save. He's in goal. Then we've got Janoy Donastin on the right, obviously, and Wolfenden in the middle and Edmondson on the left. And then my 2 wing backs, I'm giving a debut to Thompson, obviously. And on the other side is Wes Burns in absolute fantastic form. I'm going with the same 2 in the middle, Carroll and Backinson. I think it'd be, look, you might see a change. I thought Backinson did well on Tuesday. I love that little pass he put over the back for Norwood to run onto. Beautifully weighted. I thought that was fantastic. I don't see Backinson has been at the club for such a short period of time. I don't really see why they would chop and change when he's had 90 minutes with Carroll. And then I'm bringing in Selena into the middle.
Selena.
To play that number 10 role. And then I've got Norwood and Chaplin up top. So my thinking is that Selena or Chaplin can go wide. They can sit behind him. And let's attack the game. Let's go and win it. They're going to play 3-5-2. We can alter that formation to match them up. I think a lot of the play is going to be down the channels. Let's go and win it. Come on.
Look at that. Get Matt Phillips in the dressing room, Rich. Look at that for a bit of a team talk.
Massive shout out to James, who's in the chat from, I think he's from the Wednesday podcast. And he says, surely Matt Penny's playing tomorrow because he's nailed on to score because Sam Winnell scored last weekend. Wednesday.
Yeah. Can we just mention that I was on the Sheffield Wednesday podcast this week? So if you are travelling in the car and you want
to me, I'll listen to that on the way up tomorrow.
Yeah, there you go. I was on there, and I was my usual jovial self. I mentioned a couple of Jaegers. It was all good. It was a good show actually. I really enjoyed being on there with was it a Fleetwood or a Morecambe fan? I can't actually remember. But anyway, here's your 1 to 11. I've bought enough time for myself. There you go. Rich's 1 to 11. We've got Walton, Edmondson, Wolf, JD, Burns, Backinson, Carroll, and Thompson. Then Selena, Chapman, and Bond. So very similar, if not.
Just Bond for Norwood.
Bond over Norwood, then,
yeah.
Talk us through the Bond, because you've said earlier in the show, or Matt said earlier in the show, that Bond wasn't having a great season. So you obviously disagree with that sentiment. If Bond is starting for you over Senor,
I think he needed that rest. You know, he's played a lot of football, Macaulay Bond, and he's played a lot of minutes, and he hasn't spent much time on the bench. You know, he's played week in, week out. So I think that little rest he had the other night, it'll probably do him good. Might give him a bit of a kick up the backside. You know, he come on there.
I said at the start of the season he'd score 20 goals and be our player of the year. So I think that still happens.
Do we feel then that Bond, Chaplin, and Selena are now done after being rested midweek? Do we feel like that's the now done front three?
I was like it.
I think so.
Yeah. And that's a really good 3 as well, isn't it? Look, I've been critical of Selena not hitting the heights that I expected. But he's still a class player. When he only got to see the ball he put through to Burns against Accrington last week to see what he's capable of. I just hope we can see it on a more consistent level because we are playing a lot of wedge in League One for him. So you want to see him make the impact in the big games. Basically.
And I think tomorrow you need, like you said, Matt, and you've said, Martin, we need to win this game. You need your goal scorers on the pitch there. I know, you've got Norwood, so I might be contradicting myself a little bit, but you've got him to come off the bench. But when you look at, I know Colin said Aluko over Chaplin, but look at the stats of the two of them. I think Aluko scored 2 at Cambridge. What's Chaplin? I think he's got 8 goals this season in all competitions.
Yeah, he has 8 goals. Yeah.
Tomorrow, it's a game. Normally you go to Wednesday. It's a tough place to go. I'm not saying if we got a point, it'd be disastrous, but with the start that we've said many times on here that we've had, we are playing catch up. So it's 5 points to gap now. If we got a draw tomorrow and them other teams win, it's back to 7. Now, We've got 18 games to go. Before you know it, Matt.
Hey, David, £10 super stinger.
Oh,
David, we
David.
love you. That vodka's paid off. Then get in. Happy days.
But before you know
Happy
it, Martin and Matt, you'll be down to 10 games left of the season, and the games soon run out. If you're getting to 10 games left and you're still 7 or 8 points behind, that's too much to make up over that short space of time. So this is what I'm saying.
Yes.
Go there tomorrow.
Yeah.
Get on the front foot. It's going to be a great away following. It'll be a big crowd, great stadium. The pitch will be good there. I see no reason. I know Wednesday have only lost one game all season at home. They're pretty strong at home. Yeah. But I see no reason why we can't go there and win, because both teams will look at that league table. We're 8th, they're 9th. And we both don't want to be where we are. We both expected to be doing a lot better. So
plus they've got 2 games in hand on us, I think. So we want to sort of bloody their nose.
Draws are all well and good, Matt, but this stage of the season, it's the 3 points that are really going to make a difference.
You're right. I think if you get 3 points there, and then we've got Doncaster and Gillingham to follow, the bottom 2, and you couldn't ask for kinder fixtures, could you?
Ooh. No, you absolutely. That surprised me as well as you two. But no, you absolutely could. I'm looking at the league table. It's just this time tomorrow, when we're having our beer and our evening meal, socialising, entertaining, it could be so tasty, Rich. 41 points, 46. You separate some distance between you and Wednesday. And anytime you're above Wednesday, you feel you're going to be in a good position, particularly in League One. And it's just there, Matt, suddenly. It's
all you
right
need to do
there.
Is get all we've got to aim for is 6. That's all we've got to aim for. Now that is doable at the moment, but you've got to keep every time you're chalking up 3 points, the picture looks rosy, doesn't it? Like I don't think a point here and there is going to help us.
You look tomorrow, Doncaster at home to Plymouth. You'd expect Plymouth to go there and win.
Yeah.
Gillingham at home to Oxford. You'd expect Oxford to win, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
But Gillingham, to be fair, clean sheet at midweek, a little bit resurgent.
But then you've got Wickham MK Dons, mine. Wickham MK Dons. Now, Wickham can do us a big favour there. It is annoying because I agree with Matt. I was coming out that ground the other night thinking, yes, Plymouth have drawn. MK Dons are drawn. Yeah. And then I look and bloody Scott Twine's banged in a 95th.
Hey, Sarah, £10. Whatever the anesthetic and the morphine they've given her is kicking in as well. Get in. Cheers, Sarah. We appreciate that. Thank you so much. Look after yourself and hope. Get Stephen. Get a little bill, Sarah, and get Stephen running around after you. I trust me, Lizzie in his house. It's working a treat for her. I hear. So more wine, please, sir. More wine.
Still stretching it out. 2 weeks on, nearly, Matt.
I said to Matt, Sadio Mane scored a goal with a concussion. Just, there's levels here. Do you know what I mean? There's levels.
Today, she actually said she's feeling better today, but she has got a hematoma on her head, that lump that comes up 2 weeks after. Yeah.
I do feel sorry for her. Concussion living with you, it's a bad concoction.
Yeah, it's a bad mix, isn't it?
It's incredibly bad. But yes, looking at the fixtures, they are. I just think, in all honesty, guys, our one aim at the moment, you have to sort of break it down to little chunks. And our one aim should be making the MK Dons fixture as big as it possibly can be. Making that a huge game for 6th place, because they're there. We can see them. And we've got Wednesday
ahead of us now.
I will get the league table up again for you, sir. But
I think they're 8 at the moment, because it was, what was it, 6 the other night?
So they are on 49 and we're on 41. So it's 8 points. But a win tomorrow, they play Wickham. Let's say Wickham do what they should do and don't do what they do against us.
I think if we as soon as we get to 6th, if we can get into 6th with about the same amount of games played, I think we can lock it in once we're there. I think McKenna's got the drive, and I think the changes he's made since he come in. I think once we get into the 6th, I think we can stay there.
We've got the belief. I think they've got the belief now, the players, haven't they?
Not long ago, we were saying the season was over. And I can see Mike saying, do we think the playoffs is on? I thought it was on way off. I did not envisage the curve that they've gone on, and like I said earlier, the night and day from the Cook era to this one.
You do know Wickham will come out and play crap tomorrow, just because they're a bit inconsistent, and exactly. We've got to do. I just feel with the 3 games, Gillingham, Doncaster, and Wednesday on paper, and I respect what you're going to say back to me, Rich. You get past Wednesday with anything positive, you set yourself up nicely for 2 very winnable
You
games.
should be expecting to beat both of them too, shouldn't you? If you've got any aspirations at all.
They're going to go down, aren't they?
You know, we've got Cheltenham coming up. You've got Burton Albion coming up. There's games here that we can win.
Absolutely. Momentum. As Colin says, it's now a football, from a snowball to a football. So we are live tomorrow from 2 p.m. Curtis, Ben and myself with the Matchday Ticket pre-game show. Then, of course, the full-time show as well. But before we get there, score predictions as we sit on a Friday night full of beer, wine and vodka in David's case, or paracetamol in Sarah's case. What are we saying, Mr. Phillips? What is your score prediction going to be?
It is a really tough game. I mean, look, I'm hoping we can go there and win. I do think it's going to be tough. I think Rich said Sheffield Wednesday only lost 1 game at home this season. They're averaging 2 points a game at home, which is promotion form. So I do think it will be tough. I agree with Colin. I do hope we can get a 2-1. Something tells me it'll probably, I'm fully looking at the fairy tale ending. I think it'll probably, I don't think we'll lose. I think it'll probably be a draw. I think it might be 1-1. But I just hope we can get that 3 points because, we're absolutely, cooking on gas if we do get the 3.
Absolutely. 2-2 from 80, 2-2 from Mr. Ant Still. And I hope you're keeping well. Enjoy the game tomorrow. 2-1 from the good doctor. 2-1 from Dave Eaton and 2-1 from Beep Beep. Cruncher. What are you saying?
I'm really confident tomorrow. I think we're taking a real good following there. I think Selena's going to be on fire tomorrow. I think he's going to score. I'm going Sheffield Wednesday 0, Ipswich Town 3.
Wow. Can you imagine the scenes?
I think we're going to put a real statement. We're going to put a real statement down tomorrow, and the league are going to all look up and think, I'll tell you what, they're coming. And we are coming, If you're going tomorrow, have a great day, get behind them, but just behave yourself and don't be pricks towards when we score a goal like we were the other night. That's all I'll say.
Well, yeah, absolutely. We'll pick that up again on Sunday's show, but absolutely well said. And I'm looking forward to it. There's 1-0 from EJ Norris. EJ, I hope you saw your birthday message from myself midweek. If not, a happy belated birthday to you.
EJ, yeah.
2-4 from Blue. Why not? Why not? 1-0 from Kerry O'Brien. Thank you, Kerry. I hope you're doing really well. True Blue, Rich says, Colin. True Blue. 2-1 from Mr. Simon Wall. Hope you and Nicky are doing really good. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. The week is now behind us. The weekend is now in front of us, and we are 1 step away from hopefully another 3 points. 3 from 3. I have not seen 3 town wins on the bounce for a long time.
This shouldn't be a League One fixture.
No, I said that in the intro. Definitely not. Burnley, Brentford, Burnley, Brighton, Brentford.
Yeah.
Which levels is where you are in a minute.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Money could distort leagues. It's quite simple as that. But we're done. The weekend's upon us. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to go now finish my lovely beer.
Hit the like button.
Yes.
Hit that like button, yeah.
Enjoy your trip. Safe travels.
Yeah.
Phillips he's off for more Romanian wine. He's off to get a packed lunch, all packed up, and get some directions from my budgies. And we'll see you all Sunday, us 3. But I'll see you tomorrow from 2 p.m. With love, with care.
We're on a journey, looking back on the things that we've taken for granted, but feels like we're learning to be better.